Hey, as promised, we are going to have little like mini series within the overall series so that each module, each week, each workshop, each kind of chapter, we can unpack a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to dive right into it because this first week, hopefully you have downloaded the syllabus by now, maybe even printed it off old school. I've got it here on my handy dandy iPad Pro. Um, this first week is really an overview. It's going through the syllabus. Hopefully, you've taken the time to watch the recording of the workshop if you weren't able to catch it live. But I'm going to go to page 3 here where it says the art and science of vision. And I'm going to read to you what this first week was all about. It says, for day 1 of this series, we'll set the foundation for your vision by exploring both its heart and framework. I love that. We'll tap into the emotional and spiritual drive that fuels meaningful ideas while introducing practical steps that bring them to life. Today is about imagining what's possible and starting to shape a vision that feels both inspiring and true to you. Very cool. Okay. Hopefully, you have seen this image. It's also there for you as an awesome photo, but it is a quote, a famous quote by Helen Keller, and it says, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Man, that's good. So, what does that mean? The first question says, what does it mean to be blind or to lack vision? And I want to tell you what that means to me. You may have your own version of it, and I hope that within the community and within the the comments and the posts, we can kind of unpack this together. But what I think it is, world according to Nathan, I think that oftentimes we are given a vision for our life, for a business, for an organization, for a nonprofit, for a family, for something that we just feel like, man, this is what I'm meant to do, or what I want to do, or I desire to do. And we want to rally people to that vision because it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to go it alone, right? That you're not going to need other people to partner with to make that vision come to fruition. However, as maybe you share it with people, or you say, I have a goal of doing this, or I could see myself doing that, you might get shot down. You might have people be negative. You might have haters because haters gonna hate. Here's the thing that has helped me is to take extreme ownership of a couple of things. One, there's a Bible verse that essentially says, don't throw your pearls to the swine. And that's a harsh one. What it means is that your gems, right? The things that are special to you, the visions that you've been given, the dreams that you've been given, the gifts that you've been given, don't share them with everyone. Don't be loosey goosey about who you share these visions with because not everybody has the capacity to see that vision. Some people are blind, some people lack vision. So I would be really conscientious, really selective about who you share it with. And I hate to say it, but it's oftentimes the people that are closest to us, right? Think and Grow Rich says that the number one reason that people fail is because they listen to their friends, their family, and their neighbors. Familiarity breeds contempt. This is tough. I don't love it. I like to think that it's because they love us and they care about us and they want to protect us, and they're afraid that if we stick ourselves out there too much, stick our neck out there too much, it might get cut off, right? We might lose our job. We might lose our, dignity or respect. So there's an element to all of this that you're going to have to be bold. You're going to have to put yourself out there for your vision to come to life. But there's also a component of taking extreme ownership and responsibility. The purpose of this series is to understand that. And I'm going to unpack that with you. Because if people aren't picking up what you're putting down, it's probably because you haven't done the work to create the visual for it, to paint a picture in their mind, to have graphics to back it up. If people are lacking vision or being blind, it might be because you haven't had a method to it. You haven't been building up towards it, right? You haven't thought about the process that it's going to take or the framework that it's going to take. So this first question here is a little bit twofold. It's what's going on out there with the people around you that aren't seeing your vision, and what are you not doing, or what are you doing? What do you need to do more of or less of? So that's that first question. And I hope that you've taken some time to ponder that. That's what it means to me. And I'd love to hear what it means to you. I have a feeling people have a totally different insight. That's kind of just my take on it. But I think that there's some nuggets in there. And then this second part, food for thought. When were you given the vision? This is interesting. And I had to choose. I wrote this. So I thought, when? That's kind of a weird question to ask, right? Because chances are you don't know the day, you don't know the time, but you might know the season. And I bet you that if you were to try to pinpoint it, I don't even know why I'm holding this. If you were to try to pinpoint it, you'd probably be able to think of some other times where the vision was given to. It might be a teacher that spoke into you, it might be a parent that said something, it might be a spouse, might be a colleague, might be a life event. Could be tragic, could be colossal, could be something mundane, like it just hit you one day when you were, washing your hands or taking a shower or something. I think we all have different experiences with when the vision for our life starts to flicker. The like growth starts to kind of bud up through the surface. And we have to fan that flame. We have to water that seedling so that it can grow and it can germinate and it can take root. And being in communities like this does that, so that it's not just a fleeting thought. It's not just a wouldn't it be nice or a light bulb moment, but there's actual infrastructure to it. So I'm curious if you've had that moment, if there's something that's in your core, in your heart, and you can like tell that story. Write that down, right? It could be a date, it could be a season, it could be a life event, but try your best to find when you were given this vision. God, there's so much more to this that I could unpack, but I'm promising to keep this a mini series because there's a key word there, given, right? That it might not be something that's really yours in the first place, but that it was a gift to you and that you have to steward it now. More on that later. Last question here. What would you say is holding you back from actualizing the vision? Okay, this is a toughie. I said it in the workshop yesterday. I wanted to write, what are your damn excuses and how can we eliminate them? But Kenya, who is amazing and helps me edit all this, craft all this, was like, nah, that's not going to work. So what would you say is holding you back from actualizing the vision? Let's make a list of your excuses right now. Let's write down, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have a supportive spouse. I don't have the education. I don't have the network. I don't have the knowledge. And let's get rid of all of them. In fact, here's what I would encourage you to do. All the reasons why you can't and all the reasons why you can. Like, make that list. Like, go there for a second and get it all out. Some of it you probably have a broken record through your head. It'll be helpful to put it on paper and say, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I shan't, right? Make that list. And then make the list of why you absolutely can do this, why you are qualified to do this, why you are called to do this, why it just would make complete and total sense for you to go in this direction, for you to manifest this vision, for you to do the deal. And I have a feeling that even though there's probably going to be more excuses than there are reasons to do it, the power of them won't be the same. Meaning that there'll be more power in the reasons why you can and you should than why you can't and you shouldn't. So they're not created equal. And I bet you that if you focus on these ones, they will kill the other ones. And I would also encourage you to do this. Don't try to be it all and do it all. Stay in your lane. Stay in your sweet spot. I could never have built my core based on my list of the things that I can do. I mean, we're still trying to figure out what I can do around here, right? I mean, I'm doing this video. That's new, right? So it's really important that you lean into your strengths and you collaborate with others for your weaknesses. That might eventually look like recruiting and hiring and developing a team, but it can be collaborative right now within this community. I bet you there's people right now that are in the MyCore Academy that their list, all the cans, all the strengths, all the shoulds, are the same things that are on all your can'ts, all you shouldn't, all your weaknesses. That's why we've got a partner. That's why we've got to be in community. So, all right, promise to keep it a mini series. I'm up on my time. I wanted to keep it about 10 minutes. I hope that this just helps your wheels turn a little bit, helps you keep thinking about this. And then remember, our next, got it here, right in the syllabus, our next workshop, live workshop, is on the 6th of November. That's Wednesday at 3 p.m. And it's all about walking by faith. This is going to be really, really important because there's probably some stuff in your head and in your heart and in your core that is not serving you. That's holding you back from taking that leap of faith, from taking that next step, from embarking on that journey. But the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with one step. It begins with the first step. Look, if you had to know or even were given insight on what it would take in X, Y, and Z, you wouldn't do A, B, and C. I have found that God only gives me the next letter, the next step, the next 20 feet, or I'd freak out because one, I might not even believe it, or two, I would be like, no way. So don't worry about all 26 letters. Just go from A to B, and B to C, and C to D, and D to E. And if I keep trying to do that, I'm probably going to get the letters wrong. So I'm going to stop on that. Have an awesome day. I'll see you on the workshop next week.